Lorton, Virginia, 8:40 a.m. Amtrak 52, the auto train pulling into its northern terminal. Just like in Sanford, they have a GE-8 switching here. Liz and I slept okay in our Superliner roomette, but the track between Savannah and Richmond had some rough switches, some of them shaking us nearly out of our bunks. We detrained around 9:10 and, like at Sanford, waited in the big terminal waiting room for about 30 minutes while the drivers offloaded the autos.
300, 300.
Once again, this whole operation impressed me for its smoothness and efficiency. Our first stop in D.C. was Washington Union Station, a must-see for any rail fan. The old structure was beautifully restored and remodeled. The main level is actually more food court than rail terminal. Every taste from every part of the world is served here. I did not have a ticket, so I did not get down to the track to see the trains. Security is pretty tight here, but the cops are really friendly. Next stop was 30 minutes away, the B&O Railroad Museum in Baltimore's Ellicott City section. The old roundhouse is the main attraction here. Artifacts from every decade abound. B&O has the largest assemblage of Civil War rail equipment in the world. It also has the largest collection of 19th century locomotives in the United States. You can see replicas of the very first steam locomotives from the early 1800s, early passenger carriages, literally dozens of cars and locomotives. Really old pieces like Peter Cooper's Tom Thumb, a 1926 built replica of Cooper's 1830 locomotive. There are lots of replicas of the way it was on the B&O and C&O in the early years. Fascinating to me was out in the passenger car shops, what the volunteer on duty called the Big Iron. Big is the word for the 490, one of C&O's 462 Pacifics rebuilt into a 464 Hudson streamliner. And the 1604, an enormous 2666 Allegheny, built for C&O by Lima Locomotive for its big coal drags through the tight curves of the Allegheny Mountains. It's one of the largest steam engines ever built. I had no lens that would get it all in one shot, so I had to walk around it to get it all. Any rail fan who comes within 100 miles of Baltimore owes it to himself to plan a day at the B&O Railroad Museum. Next up, my first time ever rail fanning Amtrak's Northeast Corridor. Till then, at the B&O Railroad Museum, somewhere near milepost BAA 1.5. This is Danny Harmon, out.